Hello everyone, Warangel here, and welcome back to the Caliphate of Araby Let's Play Take 2, as this episode was supposed to have gone out last night, but after I recorded, I realised I'd done the rookie mistake of not having my microphone plugged in. So rather than try and re-record it all last night, I thought I'll do it today instead. Hence the late episode, and my apologies for that. Now, before we do get started, I do want to, once again, for me personally, say thank you to all of you who enjoyed the first episode, the comments and the likes, the views. It was great to see, so thank you very much for your support, guys. Really do appreciate it. Now, if you haven't watched the first episode, go and check it out, but as a brief recap, as I always do, last episode, we started off with Sultan Jaffar outside the Arabian capital of Al-Haq. We declared war on Baron Fegan's infantry, over to the west here at Martek, and we actually went down and colonized Bel Aliad. However, the Skavener clan Escher decided to break their non-aggression pact with us and took this town for themselves. Very annoying, but what can you do? Now, the most interesting thing was that the Skaven managed to persuade the Crusaders of the Knights of Origo over here to our east to join the war on their behalf. Now, I have to say I'm a little bit disappointed with that because I would have thought breaking their non-aggression pact should put their reliability down the toilet, but then, on the other hand, they're Skaven. What do you expect? But with that, we've now skipped forward one turn, where we're in an interesting position compared to when I played this last time. I set up an ambush just outside Al-Haq to hopefully try and draw in some of the troops from the Fegan's infantry over here, and it looks like they've brought a few forces over to start raiding. Now, while we're waiting then for the barracks building to upgrade, yes, I took the hit and decided to do that, as well as give a gift to the dwarves of the Greybeard Prospectors, because while I want to conquer the deserts, I don't particularly need the mountains, and so they're welcome to have them, and if we can get them as an ally, even better. But while we're waiting, let's first of all upgrade our Rafik to the next level. Now, we've done Sandstorm, we've done the Blessing of the Elements. Do we want next Sunstrike, which will give us a nice long-range spell, or Quicksand? It is tempting to get both, but let me just double-check Quicksand. I went with Sunstrike last time. Oh yeah, this does do area of effect. Take it. Thing. So, I mean, against Bretonnians, when they have knights, the ability to hold their knights in place so we can get the charge in, very, very useful. So, let's see what this army has. Okay, we've got Amir Gaski, as well as some knights and some trebuchets. Right, let's have a look. Wow, that is a lot of field trebuchets. Now, I have to say I'm a little disappointed with this balance bar. Yeah, I would have expected it given that we outnumber them. I mean, at a guess, I would say we probably outnumber them at least 2-1, maybe even 3-1. And our troops are pretty good quality, but the trebuchets are really putting it in their favour. I don't want to risk it, so I'm going to actually fight this battle myself and see if we can do it with as few casualties as possible. So, see you guys on the campaign map, on the battle map even. So everyone, welcome to the battlefield. Now, basically I've set up my troops in a very standard formation for me that you've seen it plenty of times on the channel. Infantry in the centre, spearmen on the flanks, with cavalry about to charge in. Now, for the most part, we were quite lucky, apart from this one unit here, that just took the 2 units I should say, that took a bombard of trebuchet shots, but luckily the unit decided to hang on in there for the battle despite coming close to retreating, and we were able to distract them thankfully with that 2 units so we can charge in with the rest of them. Now on my left flank, the magical carpets have got into position ready to go after the trebuchets on this side. We've got my ranged units coming in over here, and already my knights, my Cephalus, charging into the centre here to go after their trebuchets. Thankfully we did a lot of damage in our initial charge, so we were able to do things quite quickly, and now my infantry are getting into position as well. Now we've got their lords, whose name I can't remember, it was Luke did something, coming in to try and stand against the horde of warriors coming in to attack. But he's only able to hold some of them off. Everybody else is pushing through to go after the bowmen here. Now, I've sent the spearmen in particular to go after the Knights of the Realm, especially after they got held in place by quicksand. So that means we don't have to worry about that initial charge, although a couple of them still get sent flying. We're able to do a fair bit of damage to them. Over on my right flank, you can see my bowmen and Giselles are getting in position just to try and lay some damage down at the bottom of the hill. Already driven off some of the field trebuchets thanks to my Corsairs, and everything else is going quite smoothly. Victory now within our grasp. You can see their lord is trying to retreat, only to get caught by some more warriors. The knights in the centre are doing quite well against my spearmen. We are losing the battle a bit, but we are trying our best. We've got spells being casted and things like that. And over here we've got more spearmen, just going after some more of their Knights of the Realm. Since they don't have, as you'll see later, access to anything higher than a tier 1 stable, it means that by taking these guys out now, we've eliminated quite a significant part of their military strength. So we'll hopefully try and kill off as many of them as we can. My Corsairs are still chasing after the bowmen, making sure they don't get involved in the battle all that much. But it is at this point where victory is basically going to go to us. We're still trying to hold off them on the centres here. We've got the flying carpets, been chasing after some enemy trebuchet crew over here. These guys are still trying to retreat, but not, again, away from us all that much. Their lord here in the centre is still trying his best. You can see we're about to try and cast a spell over here for Arcane Conduit. We are slowly trying to whittle him down. We've been doing stuff like Spirit Leech and things, but he is a heavily armoured foe after all. It's not surprising that my troops are finding it difficult to actually hurt him. But we're trying to pin him down nevertheless, and keep him out of the battle. Over here in the back, my Corsairs are finally starting to catch up with the enemy bowmen. We've already got them retreating now. So we're just going to try and kill off as many as we can before we actually let them off the battlefield. And then over here, my Cephalus actually going after the Knights of the Realm. Killing off a few of them. This should be a fairly easy target for us. Not only are their health going down quite dramatically, you can see their morale is as 2 and they're about to shatter. And at this point there is a chain rout. Everybody is starting to retreat, and all we're going to be doing for the next few minutes is basically chase down as many of the enemies as we can. Now, given their position, it's going to be a little difficult, but to help things out a bit, you can see that our Rafik actually cast a spell in order to do quicksand against the Knights of the Realm, but he did suffer a bit of a miscast, so by hovering, if we can click on him a minute, you can see clicking over him on the bottom bar there's a small meat thing that just disappeared. That's from the, I think it's something like the more effective miscast or something like that. It makes it so they actually suffer effects like they may not be able to run or cast spells temporarily. So I think it's just much more interesting than just, oh, we take some health damage. But thanks to that quicksand, we were able to really hold them in place, meaning my spearmen can go to town on them and kill quite a few of them. And then over here, my Cephalus are coming in to finish off the survivors. And with that, really, it's the end of the battle. So I think at this point, it's a good time as any to head back to the campaign map. So there we go, a decisive victory. Personally, I think we managed to get a few less casualties than if we all resolved it, so all well and good. Ooh, the Book of Ashur. What does that do again? 25 power reserve. As long as you remember not to cast magic too often, because of the more magic you have already in the bank, the more quickly it regenerates. I think we'll use that. It's quite useful. Right, let's have a look. We can either pardon captives, execute them, or we can put them into chains, getting ourselves some slaves and some replenishment. We'll take that. Watch these guys run away.
Treading softly.
Right, thank you for that. Let's see how we can level them up, because the last time, I think after one level up, yes, 2 points, we can go for Irrepressible Spirit, which gives you, as you can see, a replenishment rate for the Lords, and, most importantly, Lightning Strike. We'll take that. That is going to become very useful when we have to go up against Vegan's infantry, as you can see. They've got a whole bunch of armies slowly recruiting, and I would like to try and deal with those if possible. Now, I wonder, can we take advantage of this now and go and kill off these survivors quickly? Perfect, perfect. Alright, again, we'll take a few more slaves from that.
Oblivion.
Okay, let's you do that. Ooh, fireball. That's going to be useful.
Soul stealer.
Right. Unfortunately now we're stuck in the zone of control, so we'll have to go and attack. Retreat, so we can get outside it.
Is not the end.
And let's have a look. If we do this, we can just about get inside our zone of control. There we go. If we get attacked now, we'll be able to get reinforcements from our hike. But yeah, that went pretty well.
Do you take me for a churl?
That might be an annoying army to deal with. But I think, since we eliminated that first army, let me just double check. Yeah, we've got rid of their ability to recruit more knights. Unless they upgrade the stables here, they can only get, as you can see, yeoman units. So that should be quite useful. And we're one turn away now from getting our barracks upgraded too. Now let's see, for Jaffar, we got lightning strike, so let's start working a bit on his actual abilities. Like, at the moment we've got Spirit Leech, which isn't the most useful of spells. It has its uses, but let's get that. And let's have a look. Ooh, the Pendulum. Now you guys know how much I like this spell. That could come in useful quite as well. In fact, doesn't that do area of effects? No, it doesn't. It's just one unit at a time. Okay, let's go for the Pendulum. The ability to do some damage with him is going to be useful. And as for our Fiq, let's go for another point in Quicksand. Just get a little bit cheaper, because doing that previous battle I noticed how much magic it was actually using. I mean, 16 is still half of what you can have in your sort of power bank. So, let's skip forward one turn now. Right. Ooh, we picked up Temporal Freedom. So if you remember, this was the first research tech you needed to do before we can start looking into doing some of the other things, like being able to get our hands on Chaos Warriors and stuff like that. So that would be quite cool. And we also picked up Lethal Etiquette. Okay, just in time. Because now let's first of all switch you back to that. And now that we've picked up this building, the Medina Guard, we can get our hands on Araby Warriors, which will be a much better improvement to the Corsairs we currently got. So let's get, say, 4 of those. Oh no, we only want 2. Alright, tell you what we'll do. Let's disband... No, you've actually got experience. Let's disband you. Get our hands on another unit of these. And then what I want to do is recruit the hero we can get, an Arabian Askar. Now, what do we have? We can get a Hassashin. Oh, wow. Sorcerers, and even a foreign priest. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if that would mean, yeah, we can get our hands on warrior priest then, I guess. That'd be pretty cool. Alright, what we got? We got a merciless character. Causes fear when fighting against men. Okay, that's useful. Brave for charge bonus and immune to psychology. And deceitful for increasing our chances of ambushing. Now, given that we are in the desert, we don't get that high a chance, so increasing it from, what was it, 40% to 65 will be quite good. But I'm also just liking the idea of this, having him cause fear against enemies. Karim Naim. Yeah, let's have you join the army. There we go. Alright, one more turn and we'll be in a position to continue against Martek, so let's just go ahead and end the turn. So we've got... Oh! So the Knights of Olga are bringing in an army already to head towards us, and they've managed to recruit Gotrek and Felix. Very interesting. Now I'm actually starting to listen to the Realm Slayer audiobook. That was really cool. Everything what I've done so far, I've only got to the 2nd chapter, but I've enjoyed it. I'm not usually a big fan of audiobooks, but I like the amount of detail they've gone into it, so it's not just... how can I put it? It's not just someone reading, it's actually different people with different voices. We've got battle effects and stuff like that. It's really, really good. And if you are on Amazon, you'll be able to sign up to Audible. Get 1 month free, 2 books free if you're a Prime member. And I recommend, if you're interested in Age of Sigmar, to check it out. But let's first of all now get our new hero into the army. And I think it might be in our best interest to actually go after the knights. Let's see, can we find a good ambush spot? 40%, 40%. Let's try here. Right, and we can actually see now what they've got. Okay, so they got some battle pilgrims, men-at-arms, okay. Blessed field trebuchet. Don Domenico is still around here, isn't he? Yeah. So that's going to be a bit easier for us. Let's set up an ambush and see if we can get them caught in that. Alright, let's see. Oh, this is looking promising. Okay, they're coming in. You're kidding me. Oh, they stopped right outside my range. And I haven't even spotted the army, so they were still in ambush. They just decided to... that was annoying. And we can argue that because of all the raiding that's been happening, thanks to the Bretonnian Crusaders, we are now having a scarce issue with food. Although Nurgle might be involved as well. Right, can we see now? Okay, let's go ahead and attack him. Oh wow. Again, I don't see why this is the case. Like, I honestly reckon we could win this fight. Their men-at-arms are not that good compared to us. They've got a few knights, one trebuchet. I mean, the only issue we'll be fighting is, of course, Sir John himself. The battle pilgrims would be more useful than their men-at-arms, but they have fewer knights, one trebuchet, which admittedly is blessed, so it does more damage. I think we should be okay in this fight. Let's try it. Let's give it a go and see how we do. Right then guys, here we are against the Knights of Origo. Now, I set things up as a standard formation and expected us to have to charge towards them, thinking that with their trebuchet they weren't going to get involved in the fight. But as you can see, they've actually been very aggressive and brought their entire army towards us. So we're going to have a massive clash of units right in the centre of the battlefield. Now their trebuchet is laying off some initial shots, aiming for my ranged units on the left flank. Fortunately for me, they didn't do too much damage, although they did manage to get a couple of hits in on the Grand Bombard. And another one coming in for good luck. Luckily for me though, it didn't do that much damage, and we're going to be soon in a position to eliminate the trebuchet. Thanks to the magical carpets I was able to deploy behind their battle line. So they're about to charge in, do a nice bit of damage there and keep them occupied for quite some time. While in the centre, the units start to clash. You can see some magic going off there thanks to the pendulum going across some units, and a sandstorm just doing some extra damage against the units over here. But otherwise, our forces are going into battle one against the other. You can see Sultan Jaffar laying off a fireball with his Ring of Ruin even. And I had no idea what just happened there, but that cost a ton of my units in this unit here to take some damage. Now I know for a fact it didn't cast Sandstorm, so I don't know what happened there. But it was enough to do a hell of a lot of damage to my own troops, as well as to essentially wipe out these two units. That explains what happened then, because when I fought this before, I wondered what on earth happens. I just looked over and it was just a pile of bodies, and I missed it, so it's good to see me actually spotting it this time. But because the Araby warriors now had taken some damage, I sent in Sultan Jaffar to doing a fair bit against his units, using the Serpent Staff currently in his possession. I mean, this must be a strange sight for him, watching these people just carrying a skeleton around on a piece of wood. I mean, he probably knows they're holding it as some sort of relic, but still, very odd indeed. Now to help him out, you can see back here we've summoned some mirages of spearmen, which I found out when I first attempted this episode that are quite useful, because while they can't do any actual damage, they can do lots of morale damage. By deploying them behind enemy lines and charging them in, we can cause their morale to break much more easily. Now while the battle's going on in the centre, we have got units on our left flank, our ranged units in particular, going after their knights, trying to do some damage. They did initially charge into this unit of bowmen, which is why they've taken a bit more, but between them and my Giselles, we are doing a fair bit of damage to them, and enough to cause them to retreat. Over here then, we've already got units between, thanks to our magical carpets flying through, and another unit of spearmen being summoned in was enough to break their left flank. So we're in a good position now just to be able to push forward with our units and kill as many as possible. Now, since I haven't shown yet what's happened on our right flank, I did try to send my Cephalus over to try and outflank him, but they sent in Knights of the Realm to deal with him. And fortunately for me, I had a spearman in position, so we were able to do a fair bit of damage to them. Even though at one point they did go frenzied, I didn't realise that was a thing they could do. No, it's actually an ability of John's, isn't it? John Tilwild, that causes Knights to frenzy when they're near, lost a lot of their morale. But at this point now, the battle is over. Everybody is chain routed. We have taken a few casualties, as you can see hovering over here. We took about 400 casualties, which isn't too bad considering we were actually we had similar numbers initially, but that's if you take into account the miraged spearmen. So I believe they actually outnumbered us by about 200 men to start things off. But we are now just chasing down the survivors, planning to kill as many of them as we can, especially if we can get our hands on the Knights of the Realm. Because again, I don't think they can recruit them so quickly. So if we can kill them off like we're trying to do at several points around the battlefield, even better. I definitely want to get rid of this Blessed Field Trebuchet, which is why the magical carpets are chasing after them, because they haven't got the ability to recruit another one anytime soon. But all we're doing right now is finishing off chasing down the enemies, so I shall see you guys back on the campaign map. So, after looking at the numbers, I have to disagree with the game when it tells me I have a close victory, when despite fighting a numerically superior foe, we managed to wipe out nearly their entire army. So yeah, I really do have to disagree with that. Now, let's have a quick look-see. We will go ahead and put them into chains, get ourselves some more slaves, and some more replenishment. And we should be in a position to go and chase the survivors down. I think so. Oh wow, the Lady's Disgrace. Not so holy now, my lord. Lying back in your own pigsty if only your watery tart could see you now. So we get 50% income from sacking Bretonnian settlements. I mean, it's not the best trait, but we'll take it. 6% campaign movement, I'm much happier with that. Ooh, +1 recruitment rank. Okay, let's go down and kill off the survivors. There we go, nice and easy. Alright, again, do we need the replenishment? Yeah, let's take the replenishment, why not? Alright, and a hedge wizard now to join our Rafiq. An armor of silvered steel for Jaffar. Oh wow, we're doing a lot of traits. Right, how long is it going to take for us to go and attack Phyrus? Because now that we've defeated the main army, we may as well. Okay, I am going to stay here a minute, just so we can continue getting our replenishment. In fact, since we got the cash, why don't we merge some of the injured units? So if we get these guys, merge them together. Right, and then we'll disband you. So that's 2. Right. Okay. So we want another unit of these guys. And another unit of these guys. In fact, if we disband you as well, we'll get a unit of you guys. Perfect. Right, we can also upgrade these probably a few points. I still want to go all in on the Pendulum, but what else do we have? Sandstorm. We can go for Mirage if we really wanted to. Okay, Enfeebling. Doom and Darkness. That is Area of Effects upgraded. Yes, it is. Hold the Line. Let's boost up our troops with Hold the Line. And what's this? Lordly Conquer, Ambush Defense Chance, Growth. That I'm interested in finding out. Summon a Fire Djinn. Now the thing is, we haven't seen anything like that pop up on in the battle yet. So I wonder if it might be a slight bug or something. Well, keep an eye on it. Maybe it's something we have to unlock eventually. But instead, let's continue. Let's go for more points in the pendulum for him. Okay, for our Rafik, let's have a look. Ooh, we can give you a flying carpet. Definitely take that. Extra mobility around the battlefield is never a bad thing. And then we'll go for Sunstrike. Thank you. And then for Karam Naim, let's give you Blade Master. And let's see. Armor value isn't the highest, but your melee defense is extremely low. So let's go all in on hard to hit for the moment. Right. Hit end turn. Right. So we'll do this one turn and then we'll finish things off, but we can skip through that. Now, as you can see, Vegan's infantry have come to attack my capital. Now, I'm surprised I haven't attacked straight away. I mean, I do have a trebuchet available to them. But can I see what they've got? If we, excuse me, I want my capital? Thank you. That is a lot of mounted yeomen. Wow. I mean, I'm surprised the balance bar is the way it is. I mean, don't get me wrong, they outnumber us. But considering what we have available to us, and what they have available, I mean, yeah, it's weird. But the question is, do we take advantage and push forward towards Virus in order to take the capital of the Knights of Orico at the risk then of actually losing our own capital? Or do we go back and try and reinforce? Now let me check, something yeah. Even though the balance power is against us, I wonder, that can't be because they've got a second settlement. Because, no way, I mean, Gotrek and Felix, don't get me wrong, are quite powerful characters. But there's no way that should be enough to shift it that much. Huh. Maybe they've got a second army around somewhere. I mean, that would be more likely, wouldn't it?
Grave spellcraft.
Right. I'm going to take the hit. I'm going to take the risk and push... No. We'll come back and deal with the capital. I mean, the last thing we want is for our capital to fall, don't we? I mean, it's not going to look good for the Sultan if he lets that happen. So let's just move a little closer. In fact, what happens now if we tell him to come out and attack? Haha, run away, you cowards. Huh. Well, they decided to go all in with the mounted yeomen, didn't they? Right. I'm actually going to risk this. Right. We fought a number of battles. Oh wow, that's a lot of casualties. That's fine. That's fine. We get a whole bunch of loot from that. Let's chase them off. Oh, we picked up a regiment of renown. The Mukhtar-Hind Champions. And the legendary warriors. Such as their repute, even the infamous our Mukhtar's desert dogs carry the black banner of the Mukhtarin. Railing mighty are the Mukhtarin. Yes, indeed. Okay, Sword of Cain has been done. Everybody now does base 20 damage. Alright, we are going to have to rebuild the army. Well, let's see if we can chase these down first. Let's just get rid of them. Bye-bye. Perfect. Again, we'll take that. Okay, let's move you back into the capital for the moment. Right. And now we're going to have to spend some time replenishing, aren't we? Right. Let's end it here, guys. So, in the next episode, we'll by that point, we'll build up our army, and we'll go and we attack the forces of Figan's infantry. We'll take Martek, and then we'll head back and then in order to go after Fivers. Hopefully they will have a chance to rebuild their forces, and between the two of them, we should be able to get our hands on a fair bit of territory here in the coast of Araby. But we'll see how it goes next time. So for now though, as always, thank you very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed and that you do join me next time for some more Warhammer. But until then everybody, take care, stay safe, and goodbye for now.